The sun rose over New Carthage, casting a soft orange light over the city. Streets that had once been full of laughter and life were now quiet. The buildings were broken, and smoke rose from the ruins. The people of the colony moved slowly, their faces empty, their eyes full of fear. 7 million humans had died here, and the survivors could not forget the horror on Earth. The news reached every screen. People stopped their work and stared. The world held its breath. The Galactic Council, which claimed to be the keeper of peace in the galaxy, watched silently. They sent messages of sorrow and sympathy, but there was no action. No one came to stop the Tavar Dominion, the aliens who had attacked New Carthage. In Washington Dome, President Evelyn Brooks sat at her desk. Her hands shook, and her eyes were red from sleepless nights. She had seen reports, watched videos, and read survivor testimonies. Every story tore her heart apart. Admiral Jason Cole stood across from her, tall and serious. He had commanded many missions in the past, but nothing had prepared him for this. His face was hard, his eyes cold. He did not cry. He never cried in front of his men or the leaders of Earth. "Madam President," Cole said quietly, "the Council will not act. They say it is unfortunate, but they will not punish the Tavar. They are too afraid of war." Brooks clenched her fists. 7 million humans, Jason. 7 million. How can they just watch? Her voice trembled. Do they even care? Cole shook his head. They care about nothing but their rules and their power. If we wait for them, nothing will happen. We cannot wait. We must act ourselves. Brooks looked down. She knew he was right, but the weight of the decision pressed on her. Acting alone meant risking war with the galaxy. It meant becoming the aggressor. But inaction felt worse. Meanwhile, Dr. Nora Fields worked in her lab in Houston. She was a young scientist with bright eyes and quick hands. Her mind was always full of ideas. She had been working on a project meant to protect Earth from alien threats. Quantum resonance technology, she called it. It could shield the planet, defend colonies, and even stop small fleets from attacking. But now, her invention seemed small. Not enough. She watched the news from New Carthage, her stomach turning. She felt helpless. She wanted to do something, anything. A message arrived on her terminal. It was from Admiral Cole himself. "Dr. Fields, we need you. Come to Washington Dome. Urgent." She hesitated. She had never met the Admiral in person. She had only seen him in photos and military briefings. But she knew the message was serious. She packed her bag, left her lab, and boarded a shuttle to the capital. The shuttle passed through the clouds, and Nora looked down at the Earth below. She had always thought of Earth as safe, as home. Now, it felt fragile. She wondered if humans were ready for what was coming. At the dome, Cole and Brooks waited. The room was large, with walls of glass showing the city outside. The sun shone, but the mood inside was heavy. "Nora," Cole said when she entered. "Thank you for coming." She nodded, trying to hide her fear. "What is this about?" Brooks spoke, her voice steady but quiet. "The Council will not act. They refuse to punish the Tavar Dominion for what they did. We cannot wait for their justice. We need our own plan." Nora's heart skipped a beat. "A plan? What kind of plan?" Cole looked at her, his expression serious. "A military plan. One that will make them regret what they did. We need your technology, Nora. We need it ready for use as soon as possible." She felt a chill run down her spine. "You want me to weaponize it?" Brooks nodded slowly. "I know this is hard, but if we do not act, more humans will die. New Carthage is only the beginning. They will attack more colonies, more cities, and the Council will do nothing." Nora swallowed hard. She thought of her parents, her friends, her little brother. She thought of all the people who had died on New Carthage. Her hands shook. I could make it stronger, faster, but it could be dangerous." Cole stepped closer. "Every defense is dangerous. That is the cost of survival. We are not monsters. We are humans who refuse to be killed in silence. For ours." They discussed plans. Maps of the galaxy were spread on the table. Star systems lit up, showing colonies, trade routes, and the Tavar Dominion's strongholds. Nora studied the map. She saw the destruction, the pops of alien fleets, and the weak points. She realized the scale of what they were planning. Are we really ready for this? She asked quietly. Brooks placed a hand on her shoulder. We do not have a choice, Nora. Humanity has waited for help. The galaxy watched 7 million die. And now we must act. If not us, then no one. Cole added, we need to move quickly. The longer we wait, the stronger they become. And the council will continue to sit and do nothing. That night, Nora returned to her lab. She began her work, staying awake for hours, testing calculations, running simulations, and making improvements. She worked tirelessly. Her mind was focused, but her heart was heavy. She knew her technology could save lives or take them. The news channels continued to broadcast images from New Carthage. Survivors told stories of horror. They spoke of friends and family torn apart, of cities burned, of the alien weapons that struck without warning. People cried on live broadcasts. Children held broken toys. The galaxy watched, and it did nothing. On the streets of New York, people gathered in silent vigils. They lit candles, held hands, and prayed. But the anger grew beneath the surface. Everyone knew the council would not act. Everyone knew that humanity had been abandoned. In secret, human military ships began to mobilize. Fleets left hidden hangars. Pilots trained day and night. Supplies were gathered. Every city had hidden bunkers. Every starport had secret ships ready to depart. Admiral Cole oversaw everything with a steady hand. He was calm, precise, and decisive. But behind the mask, he felt the same rage as the rest of humanity. Every life lost on New Carthage was a mark on his soul. Meanwhile, Dr. Fields made the final adjustments to her quantum resonance device. The machine was huge, filling an entire hangar. Lights flickered along its frame. Energy pulsed beneath the surface. It was alive, in a way, and Nora felt a strange connection to it. She wondered if humanity was ready for what she had built. Could humans survive using such power? Could they control it? The next day, Admiral Cole summoned her again. It is time to test it, he said. Nora nodded. She felt fear, excitement, and determination all at once. She knew that once the test began, there would be no turning back. Humanity had watched too long. Humanity had suffered too much. The galaxy had failed them. She walked toward the machine, her hand hovering over the control panel. She took a deep breath. Outside, the sun rose higher. Earth was calm, unaware of the storm about to come. Cole watched from the command platform. Brooks stood beside him. They did not speak. Words were not needed. The time for discussion was over. Nora pressed the activation key. Lights flared. Energy hummed. The machine came alive. It was bright, almost blinding. The sound filled the room, a low vibration that made the walls tremble. In that moment, Nora understood the power she had helped unleash. Humanity was no longer waiting for the galaxy to act. Humanity would take its fate into its own hands. Far above the Earth, in the black silence of space, alien observers on distant satellites recorded every move. They saw the humans working, building, and preparing. Some of them thought it was only defense. Some thought it was madness. Back on Earth, Nora felt a cold truth settle in her chest. They were preparing for war. The war that humanity had been pushed into. A war for survival. A war for justice. And the galaxy had no idea what was coming. For the first time, humanity was ready to strike back. And when they did, no one would be able to stop them. The weeks after New Carthage burned were quiet on Earth, but the silence was heavy. The world seemed calm, but underneath, humanity was moving. Ships were being built, fleets were being trained, and weapons were being tested. The Council may have refused to act, but humans did not wait for anyone. Dr. Nora Fields worked day and night on her quantum resonance machine. She had made it stronger, faster, and more precise. Each improvement made her heart race with excitement and fear. She knew the machine could protect humanity, but it could also destroy worlds. She could not ignore the responsibility. Captain Aaron Briggs, commander of the Horizon's Edge, came to the lab to see the progress. He was a tall man with short brown hair and eyes that never missed a detail. He looked serious. But there was a spark in his eyes, a spark of hope. "Dr. Fields," he said, "how soon can it be ready?" Nora looked up from the console. "A few more weeks," she replied. "It is not easy. This technology, it's powerful. We must test it carefully." Briggs nodded. "Careful is good, but slow is dangerous. Every day we wait, they grow stronger. Every day, another colony could fall." Nora felt a chill. He was right. The Tavar Dominion would not stop. The Council would not interfere. Humanity had to act. Meanwhile, on the streets of Earth, people gathered in secret. Small groups discussed what had happened, what should be done. Anger and grief mixed with determination. Posters of new Carthage's children hung in city squares. People whispered, "We will not be weak. We will not be silent." In the government, President Evelyn Brooks and Admiral Jason Cole met every day. They planned in detail, plotting courses through the stars, calculating supplies, and estimating enemy positions. Cole had a map of the Tavar Dominion, showing their fleets, colonies, and bases. Every strike had to be precise. Every move had to count. Brooks turned to Cole one morning. "We have to decide," she said quietly. "Do we strike first, or wait until they come for us?" Cole's eyes were hard. "We strike first. If we wait, we are already dead. The Council has abandoned us. They will never stop the Tavar. Humanity must act on its own." Nora was called to a meeting that afternoon. In the conference room, she saw Briggs, Brooks, and Cole together. There was tension in the air. The plan was ready to be revealed. Cole began speaking. "Operation Pale Sun. It is simple in theory, but deadly in execution. We strike at the heart of the Tavar Dominion. We show them that humanity does not kneel. We make them pay for New Carthage." Nora's stomach tightened. "Strike, pay, how?" Briggs pointed to a holographic map of the galaxy. "We will use your machine. Dr. Fields, we will attack their homeworld and key colonies. The Tavar fleets are strong, but our technology can give us an advantage. We hit hard, and we hit fast." Brooks added, "This is not a decision we take lightly. Billions may die on both sides, but if we do nothing, billions more humans will die. The Council will not help. Humanity must act." Nora's hands shook. She had built the machine to defend life, to protect humans, but now it was being used as a weapon. She felt fear, guilt, and determination all at once. She nodded. "I understand. I will make it ready." Training began immediately. Pilots learned maneuvers in simulators. Engineers worked around the clock. Supplies were moved to secret bases. Humanity prepared for a war the galaxy never expected. In orbit, the Horizon's Edge and other ships gathered in hidden zones. Captain Briggs oversaw every operation. His crew was young but determined. Each knew that failure meant the end of humanity. Each knew that victory was the only option. Nora tested the machine again and again. She adjusted resonance frequencies, power levels, and shielding systems. Every test made her nervous. Every test reminded her of what was at stake. One evening, she walked outside to the Earth's surface. The sun was low, casting long shadows over the cities. People moved about their lives, unaware of the storm being prepared above them. Nora felt a deep sadness. Humans were strong, but they were fragile. They had lost so much already. Cole met her outside. "How do you feel?" he asked. Nora sighed. "I feel afraid. This machine, it can save millions, but it can also kill millions. I am not sure if we are ready for this." Cole placed a hand on her shoulder. "We have no choice. Humanity has waited for the Council to act. 7 million died. Now we act. Fear is natural. Courage is acting anyway." In the weeks that followed, more news came from the galaxy. Small human colonies reported attacks, but no large fleets arrived to help. The Tavar Dominion was strong and cruel. The Council continued to watch but did not act. Humanity's anger grew. At night, Nora dreamed of New Carthage. She saw children running, laughing, then falling silent. She woke with tears. Every day, she tried to push the memory aside, but it returned. She realized that her work was not only about technology, it was about vengeance, justice. and survival. Briggs and his crew continued their drills. Pilots spoke quietly of what they would do, of the worlds they would destroy, of the humans who had died. They spoke in a calm voice, but inside, their hearts burned with anger and sorrow. One morning, a message arrived from a distant outpost. A Tavar fleet had been seen moving near a human trade route. Cole studied the report. His face was serious. They are coming closer. Soon, they will strike another colony. Brooks frowned. We cannot let them reach our people. We must be ready. The fleet moved into position. Nora's machine was placed on the horizon's edge. Energy hummed through the ship. It glowed faintly, a constant reminder of the power it contained. Briggs checked his crew. All stations ready? He asked. Yes, sir, came the replies. Nora stood beside him, hands trembling. She looked at the machine. I hope this works, she whispered. Briggs nodded. It will. We have no other choice. That night, the Earth slept while humans prepared for war. The stars seemed calm. But Nora knew the silence was only waiting. The galaxy had turned its back on humanity, but humans would not be silent. Humans would not kneel. Brooks and Cole watched from the dome. They spoke quietly about the plan, the risks, and the cost. They knew many would die, but they also knew that humanity's survival depended on action. As the hours passed, Nora continued her calculations. She adjusted frequencies, monitored energy flows, and double-checked safety protocols. Every detail mattered. Every mistake could mean disaster. Finally, the day arrived. The fleet was in position. The horizon's edge and other ships hovered above Earth, ready to move. Nora's machine was fully operational. Every human involved knew what was coming. They were prepared to fight, to defend, and if needed, to strike back. Cole turned to Brooks. This is it. Humanity decides its own fate today. Brooks nodded. Let us hope we make the right choice. Nora looked at the machine one last time. She felt a mixture of fear and pride. She had built something incredible, something powerful, something that could save millions or destroy millions. The countdown began. The fleet waited in silence. The stars stretched above them, infinite and quiet. The galaxy watched, as it always had. But this time, the humans would not wait for judgment. This time, humans would act. And so, Operation Pale Sun began. Humanity's first strike, born from grief, anger, and determination, moved silently through the void. The galaxy had ignored them. The galaxy had watched 7 million die. Now, humanity would show the universe that it would never be weak, never be silent, and never be forgotten. In the distance, the Tavar Dominion moved, unaware of what was coming. Their arrogance would be their first mistake. Above all, Nora whispered a quiet prayer. May we survive this, and may humanity live to see justice done. The stars shone cold and bright, and the first steps of humanity's revenge began. The horizon's edge moved silently through space. Its engines glowed softly, and its hull reflected the distant light of stars. Captain Aaron Briggs stood on the bridge, staring at the vast blackness ahead. Around him, the crew moved with quiet efficiency, checking instruments, preparing weapons, and monitoring every system. Dr. Nora Fields stood beside him. Her hands rested on the console, and her eyes followed every readout. She could feel the power of her quantum resonance machine humming beneath the deck. The energy pulsed softly, a reminder of what they were about to do. Are we ready? Briggs asked. Nora nodded slowly. Ready as we can be. The machine is stable. The shields are strong. We just need to move carefully. Briggs looked out the viewport. Careful is good, but fast is better. They will not wait for us to hesitate. The fleet moved forward, leaving the safety of the hidden zones around Earth. The stars stretched endlessly ahead. Every ship in the human fleet carried one mission: show the Tavar Dominion that humanity would not be ignored. Weeks earlier, the Tavar had celebrated their victory over New Carthage. Their leaders laughed, believing humans would never retaliate. But now, humanity had gathered in secret. The Dominion fleets did not know what was coming. On the horizon's edge, Nora checked the resonance machine again. Captain, the first test shows maximum efficiency. It will take ours to charge fully, but once it's ready, nothing in its path can stop it. Briggs nodded. Good. I want it ready before we reach their outer systems. We need the element of surprise. Meanwhile, Admiral Cole watched from Earth. His face was serious. But inside, he felt a strange sense of satisfaction. Humanity had waited too long. The galaxy had done nothing while 7 million humans died. Now, the humans would act. The first signals reached the human fleet. Scouting ships had detected the Tavar outer colonies. Their sensors showed weapon systems, defensive satellites, and patrol fleets. Briggs studied the data carefully. Every move had to be precise. One mistake could destroy everything. Captain, Norris said quietly, once we use the machine, there will be no turning back. This is not just a strike, it is total destruction. Briggs turned to her. I know, but we have no choice. Humanity cannot wait any longer. If we hesitate, more will die. You did not create this machine for defense only. You created it for survival. And today, survival begins. The fleet entered Tavar space under the cover of darkness. Sensors scanned constantly, searching for enemy ships. The humans moved like shadows, quiet, careful, but determined. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Incoming ships detected, the officer reported. Small patrol fleet approaching. Briggs's hands moved quickly over the controls. Prepare to engage. Do not fire until I give the order. The patrol ships moved closer. Their green hulls gleamed in the starlight. They expected to intimidate, to stop humans from reaching their colonies. They did not know what awaited them. Nora's machine powered up. Energy flowed through its systems, resonating like a heartbeat. She could feel it vibrating beneath her feet. She swallowed hard. Captain, it is ready. Briggs nodded. Then let them see what humanity can do. With a swift motion, the horizon's edge fired the quantum resonance pulse. The energy expanded outward like a living wave, passing through the patrol ships. There was no explosion, no fire. But when the wave passed, the ships simply vanished. Their hulls, their weapons, everything disappeared. The crew gasped. Nora felt a shiver run down her spine. It worked, she whispered. Briggs's voice was calm but firm. It worked, and it will continue to work. Prepare the next pulse for the main colony systems. The fleet moved forward. Every human ship followed carefully. They approached the Tavar homeworld, a planet covered in green oceans and jagged mountains. Cities glimmered like tiny jewels, unaware of the destruction approaching. Nora checked her console again. Captain, once we fire at the homeworld, billions will die. The machine cannot discriminate. It will hit everything within range. Briggs's eyes did not waver. We have no choice. They killed 7 million humans. They left us no option but total response. The galaxy watched us die. Now, they will watch us act. The pulse was released. A white light brighter than 1,000 suns spread across the Tavar planet. Buildings crumbled. Oceans boiled. Mountains shattered. In minutes, the planet was gone. Silence followed. The crew of the Horizon's Edge watched in stunned awe. Nora covered her mouth. She had expected power, but not this. She had expected destruction, but not the scale of it. Captain, she whispered, what have we done? Briggs looked at the empty space where the planet had been. We have shown them who we are. We have shown them humanity will not be ignored. That is all we intended. In the distance, the Tavar fleets began to move. Sensors picked up ships fleeing from nearby colonies. Panic spread through their ranks. They did not understand what had happened. Their leaders had laughed at humanity, and now billions of Tavar were gone. Admiral Cole received the first reports. He did not smile, but his heart swelled with grim satisfaction. Humanity had acted. Humanity had taken control of its fate. Back on the Horizon's Edge, Nora felt her hands shake. She had built a weapon that could erase worlds. She had hoped to protect life, but now she had destroyed it. She looked at Briggs. Is this what justice feels like? Briggs did not answer. He stared out at the stars. It is what survival feels like. And we survived. The fleet moved on, striking at key Tavar colonies with careful precision. Entire cities vanished in light. Patrol fleets were destroyed before they could respond. The Tavar Dominion did not know what to do. Their arrogance had left them vulnerable. In the council chambers of the galaxy, alien leaders watched the reports in disbelief. Humans, they attacked. One whispered. They destroyed millions, another said. How could they? They are just one species. How could they have this power? But it was too late. Humanity had already acted. The element of surprise was gone, and the Tavar Dominion was reeling. Their homeworld was gone. Their colonies were vanishing. Their fleets were retreating. On Earth, people watched the broadcast in shock and awe. They saw humanity's power, and they felt pride. The Council had abandoned them, but humans had not abandoned themselves. They had acted. In the quiet moments, Nora felt the weight of what had been done. So many dead, she whispered. Are we still human? Briggs placed a hand on her shoulder. We are human. We are the species that survives, that fights, that refuses to be destroyed. That is who we are. The fleet continued its march through Tavar space, striking fear into every system. Humans were no longer victims. Humans were a force the galaxy had ignored at its peril. As the pulse waves moved through the Dominion, the Council convened an emergency. Alien leaders argued, debated, and pointed fingers. They had watched humanity die, and now they were watching humanity destroy. For the first time, they realized the true power of the species they had underestimated. Captain Briggs stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge, watching the stars. He knew the road ahead would be long and dangerous. The Tavar Dominion would fight back. The Council would act eventually. But for now, humanity had shown its strength. Humanity had shown it would not bow, would not kneel, and would not forget. Nora Field sat at her console, exhausted. She had seen the light of the machine spread across worlds. She had seen death, but she had also seen survival. She wondered if the galaxy would ever understand. She wondered if humans would ever forgive themselves. Admiral Cole received a final report from the fleet. He nodded to himself. The first strike is complete. Humanity has sent its message. Let the galaxy remember it, and in the quiet, the humans prepared for what would come next. The Tavar Dominion was wounded, but not defeated. The Council was shocked, but not yet willing to act. Humanity had begun a war no one expected, a war that would test their courage, their strength. In their very spirit. Above the stars, the human fleet moved on, ready for the battles to come. The galaxy had watched 7 million humans die. Now, the galaxy would watch humanity rise. The stars were cold, but the humans' hearts burned. They were angry, they were alive, and they were ready, and so, humanity's answer to silence and death continued, moving through space like fire across the dark void. The galaxy was in shock. Human fleets moved through space, striking with precision, destroying enemy colonies, and demonstrating power no one had expected. Alien leaders gathered urgently. In the Galactic Council chambers, they argued, shouted, and blamed each other. Some wanted to retaliate immediately. Others feared the humans could not be stopped. On Earth, President Evelyn Brooks and Admiral Jason Cole watched the news feeds. Humanity had paid a heavy price, but it had survived. Brooks felt a mixture of relief and sorrow. The victories had come at a terrible cost. Millions of humans had fought and died alongside her fleets. But humanity had survived. And that was what mattered. Dr. Nora Field stood in the lab, staring at her quantum resonance machine. The energy had been used to destroy entire Tavar colonies. The machine hummed softly now, exhausted but intact. Nora felt the weight of her actions pressing down on her chest. She had helped protect humanity, but she had also helped wipe out billions of alien lives. She wondered if the humans she loved would ever forgive themselves. Captain Aaron Briggs came to her. Nora, we did what we had to do. Humanity was abandoned. We acted to survive. Don't blame yourself. Nora shook her head. I do not know if this is survival or something darker. I built a machine to save life, not take it. And now, billions are gone. Briggs put a hand on her shoulder. Sometimes survival demands hard choices. We did not want this war, but the galaxy forced our hand. We are still human, Nora, and we are still alive. The Tavar Dominion was in chaos. Their homeworld was destroyed. Many colonies were gone. Fleets had been shattered. Panic spread among their people. For the first time, they understood that humans were not weak. Humans were not a species to ignore or underestimate. The Council finally acted. But it was too late. Alien fleets from different systems moved toward Earth to contain humanity. They believed their combined power could force humans to surrender. But humanity had prepared. Every orbital defense, every fleet, every weapon was ready. Admiral Cole coordinated Earth's defenses with calm precision. Human ships moved like a single organism. Lasers flashed across space, shields flared, and fleets collided in brilliant displays of light and power. Humanity fought like a cornered predator. Every strike was calculated. Every move was lethal. Dr. Fields monitored the quantum resonance machine as it pulsed gently, ready if needed. She knew she could unleash another wave, but she hesitated. This was her final chance to act carefully, to prevent unnecessary death. On the battlefield, Captain Briggs led the Horizon's Edge with courage. Human pilots moved with skill and determination. They attacked alien ships, outmaneuvered them, and defended key positions. Every human knew the stakes. Every human fought with the memory of New Carthage in their hearts. Weeks of fighting passed. Humanity survived each attack. They adapted, learned, and grew stronger. Alien leaders realized that humanity was not a simple species to conquer. Humans were resilient, inventive, and determined. Every attempt to crush Earth failed. In secret, Dr. Fields activated a hidden function of her machine. She had been working on a plan to show the galaxy the truth about humanity. It was not a weapon of destruction. It was a transmitter, a message, a record of every human life, every struggle, every tragedy, and every act of courage. The machine sent the message into the Galactic network. Data flowed through every system, reaching billions of eyes and ears. It showed the Tavar attacks, the suffering of New Carthage, and humanity's desperate struggle for survival. It showed humans as they truly were, not as weak or small, but as strong, compassionate, and brave. The Council watched in silence. Alien civilizations saw the truth. They saw the pain humans had endured. They saw the courage humans displayed. Many began to question their leaders. Many began to doubt their plans for total war. President Brooks received the first reactions from across the galaxy. Messages of fear, respect, and surprise poured in. Some alien leaders apologized. Some pledged peace. Others prepared cautiously, realizing that humanity was not a species to destroy lightly. Dr. Fields watched the transmissions. Her heart was heavy, but she felt a spark of hope. Humanity had survived. They had fought and endured, and now, for the first time, the galaxy saw humans as they truly were. Captain Briggs stood on the bridge of the Horizon's Edge. Watching the stars, he knew the war was not over. There would be future battles. There would be challenges. But humanity had shown its strength, its courage, and its determination. They had survived against impossible odds. Admiral Cole spoke to Brooks via secure channel. The galaxy will remember today. Humans will never be forgotten. They will respect us, even if they fear us. And we have survived. That is enough, Brooks nodded. Enough, yes. But at what cost? Millions of humans, billions of aliens. Is this truly justice? Cole's voice was quiet. Justice is not easy. Justice is not kind. But humanity is still here. And we will make sure the future is different. We will protect our own. That is what matters. In the following weeks, peace talks began. The Tavar Dominion was weakened, their leaders desperate to survive. Alien civilizations debated how to treat humans. Many realized that violence would not work. The humans were too strong, too determined, too united. On Earth, people celebrated cautiously. They remembered the fallen, they mourned the lost, and they honored the brave. Humanity had survived against impossible odds. Humanity had fought alone and had made the galaxy take notice. Dr. Fields looked at the stars one night. The machine hummed softly, its work done. She whispered to herself, "We did it. We survived. We are human." Captain Briggs and his crew returned from patrol. They were tired but alive. They knew their work was far from finished. But they had proven something important. Humans could survive. Humans could fight, and humans would never be ignored. President Brooks addressed the people of Earth. Her voice was steady and strong. We have endured the worst, and we have survived. We have shown the galaxy that humanity is not weak, not silent, and not forgotten. We honor the fallen, we protect the living, and we prepare for the future together. In the silence of space, the human fleet moved quietly. They had won battles, but they remained vigilant. The galaxy had seen their power, and humans knew they could not be complacent. Every star, every system, and every civilization would remember humanity from this day forward. Dr. Fields walked among the crew of the Horizon's Edge. She saw relief in their eyes, pride in their stance, and hope for the future. Humanity had faced destruction, betrayal, and loss, and they had survived. Captain Briggs looked at the stars. He knew humanity would face new challenges, new enemies, and new trials. But he also knew one thing: humans were strong, humans were clever, and humans would never give up. The quantum resonance machine hummed quietly. Its energy, once used for destruction, now symbolized survival, ingenuity, and the human spirit. Humanity had risen from tragedy. Humanity had survived against the galaxy. Humanity had endured. Above all, Nora Fields whispered one last time, "May we remember those we lost, and may we never forget who we are." The galaxy had watched 7 million humans die. Now, humanity had risen, and the galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were not weak. They were not small, and they would never be ignored. And on Earth, as the sun rose over the cities, humans looked to the future. They had survived war, destruction, and betrayal. They had survived the Tavar Dominion and the silence of the Council. They had survived themselves. Humanity was alive. Humanity was free. Humanity was unstoppable. And that was just the beginning.